Tere hommikust! Good morning, labrit, labas, guten morgen. My presentation is based my bachelor and master thesis, and in my bachelor thesis 2009 I focused on one item of furniture, cupboard from Ruhnu, Iceland, studying its background and giving an overview of restoration process. I also did some mapping in Ruhnu, other places in Estonia and Sweden, mainly Nordiska Museet. And today I'm glad to present the cupboard itself. And I also would like to thank Ülle Jää, who works here in this museum and who brought the cupboard here. How much do you know about Ruhnu? Who have been there? Like 10 people. Good to know. I will give a quick review of background of the island where furniture come from. Here is some geographical facts. As you see, it's a very small island, and there are 29 households and less than 100 inhabitants. At this time, mostly Estonians, but 1944 it was populated by ethnic Swedish, and Swedish law was used. And as you see, there is a airfield, like it's a airstrip. There's two churches. One church is the oldest wooden building in Estonia since 1643, and the village is very small, and buildings are very close. And next one. In 70 years, the culture is totally changed now, and only one living house still standing, and the other houses are quite new. And if you talk about 29 households, they had furniture there, like this cupboard, and this time it's quite different because we don't have that kind of furniture. Let's go to the point. Here is one polychromatic cupboard from Ruhnu, what was in private ownership. My goal was to restore it to be used again, but it was very valuable, and now it's here in this museum. Before the restoration and the conservation process, there were some questions that needed to be answered. And the questions. How old was this cupboard? We didn't know, not have any reference of that kind cupboards. And what condition? To understand how damaged the cupboard was. Had there been any overpaints? So I would know if this was the original appearance of this cupboard. And what kind of paint and pigments were used to finish restored parts. And of course, how to clean it. Do I need to only dry cleaning or also wet cleaning? Taking into account this research questions, the registration process included proceeding tests and analysis. Means technological dating, visual observation, analysis of the cross-sections, and determining paint by IR spectroscopy, and establishing the surface cleaning method. And about these tests, first is technological dating. Technological dating was applied because the cupboard didn't have any markings, and that would help to determine its age. I measured the backside panels and front side door panels. I could analyze 6 panels that allowed comparison to the annual rings reference. So, according to the results, there is no matches with references, and instead it seems to corroborate the general belief that Swedish used reused materials like shipwrecks and the other details. I can show you some examples of furniture there with reused materials. You can see there are very luxury mahogany door, and there is the one secretary. This one where it's used 6 different kind of wood. It's like walnut panels and oak sides, and it's very, very interesting furniture for me. And let's continue. Visual observation. Conclusion of the visual observation was that construction of the cupboard needed to be strengthened, stabilized, and repairing. It's too many damaged carvings and missing parts. And the frame construction of the cupboard was simple. Only joints, metal and wooden nails were used to construct it, and no glued parts at all. I haven't seen any glued parts in Ruhnu furniture. It's amazing for me. It's very nice. Cross-section of the paint layers. I took a sample of samples from differently colored parts of furniture to analyze whether there were any overpaints. You can see there this is base color and different pigments. And here you can see mixed pigments. And the results. The results indicated that there were no overpaints. And next one, I made spectroscopical analysis. It's for terminate the composition of the paint and pigments. Sorry. And I got the answer. This paint was linseed, based on linseed oil. And then I can made pigments, what I got analyzed, and I got what based color was. It was oil based, and other pigments were green one was chromium oxide, blue one was ultramarine, red one was red lead, and white was zinc white, and the filler was calcium carbonate. Next, cleaning the surface. I made in parallel with other analyses. I did the dry cleaning. Also, wet cleaning was necessary because the surface was so dusty and it's crazy, grassy. And best results obtained with a light solution of ammonium citrate, which removed dirt but kept the paint unaffected. And the restoration process. All carvings needed restoration to achieve the original look. For that, I painted repaired parts with paint that were composed of pigments and linseed oil. I used traditional woodwork tools. I strengthened the base of cupboard with paraloid B72. It's a 10% solution. You can see the damages, what needs the paraloid usage. The carvings were fitted to the front by wooden nails. All carvings are fitted by only wooden nails. It's called in German. It's a nagel. In Estonian, it's a nagel. It's like a wooden nail. You can take the closer look during the coffee break later, and you can investigate it. So, and here's the final result. Okay, let's go to the next part, the mapping. I started the mapping Ruhnu furniture in 2009. I found out that there were not any furniture extent. Knowing that there should be more furniture, I expand my search from area from Estonia and Sweden to Finland and Latvia also. I mean Finland's and Latvian museums, also private collections and antique sellers. Databases. The databases, that means antique sellers, they have pictures of sold items, and of course memory database it was used. In 2016, I researched extensive Ruhnu furniture in 24 museums and private collections, including sellers' databases. I found furniture outside of Estonia only from Swedish Nordiska Museet. And the information gathered from mapping Ruhnu's furniture showed that the biggest difference from the Swedish furniture was in the making of decor elements. You can see here, this is Swedish cupboard and this is Ruhnu cupboard. You can see that where am I? This is only painted, and this is sword carvings. That's the main difference of. It's a similar cupboards, but very different work. It's I think it's important point out of remarkable skills of Ruhnu's craftsmen. Here is one more example. Here you can see beautifully decorated cupboards. This one, which is the second existing cupboard from Ruhnu. And a nice example, this child chair. Here's the. Its construction very simple. It's very different furniture. It's nice to see one small island, but so many different furniture. And also some table examples. This type of tables were mostly restored later. I mean, this one, this the original one, and this the restored later. It's overpainted and seems like modernized. Legs were cut shorter because the damage is done by, I think, maybe insects and maybe hair throat. So I brought out different samples of Ruhnu's furniture, but to be precise, there are only 72 samples of furniture, mainly chairs and above mentioned 2 cupboards. And finally, conclusion. So in conclusion, I can be said less than 100 objects of the furnishing can be counted in the collections of the museums and in Estonia and Sweden and in private possession. It's not a lot. And the reusage of the materials and cupboards decor elements differ from the Swedish original examples. It's a quite unique furniture, I think. And I believe that Ruhnu's is a unique place and its furniture is remarkable, and that is the reason it needs more attention and protection as cultural heritage. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristjan. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, 1 minute is left. If you don't have questions, you are welcome.
We do.
Sorry, the light is very. Yeah.
The question is about as you said, it's very important, and then it has to be, get some attention of probably cultural heritage institutions. But what's your idea about that? Is it like a website solution, or how do you think it might be done?
Yeah, of course, the research is not done. I will do my best. I have an idea to produce one book about Ruhnu's furniture and decor elements. It's coming soon.
How many of them items are easily found, for example, on the internet? Because what I thought, if, for example, they are findable in the different museums, it's maybe worth talking to the museums and, for example, tagging them with a Ruhnu or whatever search word that's going to be, making it easy to find afterwards.
I found some pictures and materials museum databases. Nordiska museet they have database. This museum also it's very here is very good collection of furnitures, and it's you can get it from internet.
Thanks very much, and good luck with your fight.
Yeah, thank you.